everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Fourtress of, a podcast about movies and TV shows and video games and lots of pop culture nerd things. My name is Oscar. I'll be one of your hosts today. And with me, per usual, are all of your other hosts. Woo! Everyone is here. Alex, Brian, and Devin. Welcome back, Alex.
What is up?
Cool squad.
Yo, I have news. Here's the news talk for the day. I had a freaking baby.
A whole baby.
The baby is here. The baby is great. Her name is Cleo.
Yay.
She is the most precious, beautiful thing on the earth. This is also my free-for-all. She is just the best thing in my freaking life right now. Like, it's my first kid, first-time father. And I gotta say, like, all the stereotypical, cliche things that everybody has heard are the only things that I can say. Like my life has changed. All I want to do is hang out with her and be with her. Like, I would die for her. I would kill for her. She just makes me smile, and I'm obsessed.
It's amazing.
And I can't wait for you guys to meet her.
Yeah.
Yeah, very excited.
Maybe not all the listeners. No offense, listeners, but
when we say you guys, we mean collectively these four people.
Yes,
no one else.
Yes.
We don't know y'all like that.
Yeah, but she is great. She's literally perfect, and I don't think I've ever been confident enough to say that about anything before. But she is.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
We love
Congrats. That's amazing. We have a podcast baby now.
Exactly. We're now the Fourtress of.
Yeah. So
actually, the title pending.
It might be hard for me to catch every week. I missed the last 2 weeks because she was born 2.5 weeks ago. By the time this episode comes out, she will be 3 weeks old, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But yeah, I'm gonna be here as much as I can, which might not be a lot, but we'll see what happens.
Heck yeah.
Do your thing,
It's
man.
all good, man.
We love to have you here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, because we're on a bit of a time crunch and there is so much shit we should get into.
News talk.
And once again, a hybrid news talk / main topic. So we're trapped in a fortress. It's a newsy fortress because we're in the fortress of.
A lot of
Summer
people
Game
had games
Fest
conferences that weren't quite E3, but were kind of E3. But we can't call it
It's
E3.
not E3, but it's a
Damn
it's a
news.
convention festival thing
Too
Mhm.
much damn
of the
news.
Jeff Keighley.
summer.
A lot of announcements.
So yeah. So basically, like, every games company had a conference, and also Netflix had a thing where they're announcing shit. So we're just gonna have a news type episode like we've done in the past. We're just kind of break down some of those things. Apologies in advance to anyone. Yes, we are going to miss your favorite game, and we apologize. I'm sorry, we can't do it all. There's too much crap. Also, that game sucks. Get over it. No, I'm kidding.
We're gonna tell you right now, Modern Warfare 2, water looked like shit. Sorry, bros. It is what it is.
Also, before we move on, listeners, if you want to skip ahead to any part, check the time codes or for spoilers or anything like that. But yeah, it's all down there in the show notes. Check it. And yeah. All right, let's go. So let's start with, since it is mainly Summer Game Fest, let's start with the Summer Game Fest thing that happened. Which some of the highlights were obviously one of them being Aliens Dark Descent. I just brought this up because I don't know if you saw the trailer. The trailer is 100% misleading, which is very funny because it looks like a cool, like, third-person shooter or even a first-person alien game. It's like an XCOM, it looks like.
Oh,
There's
really?
like
Whoa.
3 seconds at the very end of it where it shows what the game's actually going to look like. And it's fucking
Interesting. I
hilarious.
thought it was kind of like a sequel to that first Alien.
Nope.
Nope.
Like the scary,
Yeah.
spooky game.
Mm-hmm. Where you have that cool multiplayer where it was like the disjoint, where
The,
it's
like the Marine one?
yeah, with the killer and the it's not that.
Interesting.
It's XCOM.
So this is Aliens with an S. I know between the first and second movie, they're drastically different. The second movie has an S, Aliens,
Right.
and it's a completely different style. It's like a James Cameron instead of Ridley Scott. So it changes from like a psychological thriller, and the second one is just like a space action film.
It's like an action
Yeah,
movie,
so
yeah.
it seems like they're sticking true to form and making this second game an action game. Is that true? I thought it was a sequel and still going to be spooky and like
I think a lot of
slow-paced.
people did at first.
That's wild.
Yeah, there's a few games on this list that did exactly that. That's the issue with a lot of trailers like that where you don't show gameplay. It's like, oh, this game looks fucking awesome. Oh, it's a real-time strategy
It's
game.
like every Blizzard game ever.
Right, yeah, right.
Well, are you guys excited? Would you play it? I mean, I love a good
No.
strategy game. Is it like real-time strategy or you said XCOM, which is a great game?
Yeah, XCOM is XCOM like turn-based? I've never actually played it.
XCOM's
People love it.
turn-based.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is 100% turn-based,
XCOM's
but
turn-based
it's that
strategy.
same top-down-ish looking style.
Interesting.
It has an enriching story.
I'm gonna take a second look at this. I do love a tactical turn-based strategy game.
I'm not gonna play it. I'll be completely real with you. I don't really care
I'm
about
not gonna
Alien
play
as a
it.
franchise. I'll be honest. So this doesn't
I
really
think I'll
fit
appreciate
my.
the YouTube, like the jump scare people, when they're streaming and then they scream and die. I think that's what I'll probably
Yeah.
get enjoyment from this game.
Another next thing happened. The first gameplay of Modern Warfare 2, which I'm personally excited about because I thought that first Modern Warfare reboot was actually a very good game. Like the single player was good, the multiplayer felt good. Like I was genuinely excited for this. The actual level they showed off was kind of boring. It didn't really do much, but also it's Call of Duty.
You shoot
so
red
you kind of
canister,
know what
it
you're
blows
getting.
up. You've known that for
Yeah,
25 years of
As long
video
as it's
gaming. Like,
red.
that's just...
They proved it on MythBusters. If it's red, it will blow up. So is this like the longest time between a game and its sequel? When did the first Modern
No.
Warfare
Modern
come
Warfare
out? Was
2
that?
came
Well, this
out.
is a reboot.
Yeah, they rebooted Modern
There was a
Warfare.
reboot one
Oh,
that
you
came out in
thought-
2019.
You can
that was
tell.
like
You can tell I
2007.
play a lot of Call of Duty. I play all the Call of Duty games. You can totally tell, right?
Alex
Yeah,
was
these
under the
games come
impression
out.
that they did the first Modern Warfare, then went all the way back to space, then back
Yeah,
to World War II,
right.
and then
Yeah.
never touched Modern Warfare for a second time.
No, I thought this was like a Hail Mary. Like, let's bring it back to the basics, guys.
You know that Call of Duty 4 game that made them millions of dollars and put Call of Duty on the map? They never went back to that one.
2 is definitely, I feel like, the best one. That was like late high school. I remember that's like,
That was like peak hype, yeah.
Okay, maybe that's one I remember. Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's zombies on that one, right? Which zombie?
No.
Zombies
There's
started
no
World at
zombies?
War, didn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. Because
Maybe
that's
they'll
like
bring
when they
zombies
split,
into this one.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah, they split.
I mean, I feel like they bring zombies into everyone at this
That's
point.
the only
you know?
portion of Call of Duty that I've played in the past 10 years is the zombie stuff.
Yeah,
The zombies.
yeah.
That's
Same.
fair.
Other than just getting screamed
Yeah.
at by toddlers on if you go on live and you go 2 for 27 KD ratio.
Come on, man. That's a Call of Duty experience. If you can't live through a Call of Duty lobby, you can't live through anything. No, that's wrong. Those people need to stop talking shit. Anywho, no, this game, I was a little worried at first when they were first. The trailer shows them like in this water in like a little dinghy going towards like a freighter. And I was like, oh, that water does not look so next gen. That's fine. But then once I got into the ship and started showing like the things that were happening there, and that's supposed to be real gameplay.
The physics looks cool.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff looks really cool. That is a very beautiful game. The lighting's amazing. This is all happening in the rains. That's super cool.
I mean, that's because this game's probably going to take up like 300 gigabytes of
Oh, yeah,
space.
you're done for. That plus Warzone, that's your entire hard drive. Good luck.
Yeah.
Well, it's beautiful. And I mean, Call of Duty knows how to make a damn good single player game. It's always super fun in my opinion. So
Yeah.
I'll probably pick it up. I'll never play Warzone, but I'll play the multiplayer of this game.
Yeah, same.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's Call of Duty. Cool. Another game that I just kind of piqued my interest was called Witchfire. It's like another first person shooter, but it's like, I don't know, there's like
There's
magic.
spells in there, right?
Yeah.
I love some magic.
Mhm.
I think I mostly just like the trailer because they were shooting to the beat of the song in the background.
They did have good
Or
editing
the score.
in some of these trailers.
Yeah, it was
for
really good
sure.
editing on this trailer.
I go back and forth with these kinds of games. Everything that's like kind of Dishonored shooter where you have like spells and things that you can use, like other abilities, I always get worried because they feel a little overdone. This and action games, this and the God of War-esque games seem to be really popular and it seems to be coming back again. So I'm just worried this is going to feel bland, but
Mhm.
It's possible.
Yeah,
But hey,
It's also
fun.
got a kind of a generic-ish name as well, so it's like
Right.
it could go just under the radar.
Right.
yeah. So that's
You
what
just
worries
gotta-
me about this game.
It just has to be fun to hit your targets and like kind of like Skyrim when you're running around using magic. Make it better than Skyrim though. So,
Yeah, you got to make it better than Sky.
In a first-person shooter, it has to feel good to shoot. Like that's
Yeah.
number one.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't feel good to shoot, no, it's not going to be fun. And that's what I feel about a lot of single-player shooter games. That's why I don't tend to play them. Like Halo, I like the campaign in Halo because it feels good to shoot.
Mhm.
So
Right.
I'm hoping
I
Witchfire.
don't play a lot of first-person shooters, but I did play a lot of the first Destiny, and that game felt like super, super good. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
honestly, it was the only thing you could do in the game was shoot things, but it felt great to do
Right.
that.
Nothing
so-
else made sense. Yeah.
Bungie does have that very tight. Destiny feels very good to
Right,
play.
right.
I don't like the game,
Yeah.
but it feels good to
Yeah.
play.
Destiny's very
They know how to make a
polished.
shooter. Next thing, Fort Solis is a cool, interesting game because it's part of this like new type of thing where it's not quite a AAA game, but it's not quite an indie game, but they have like a budget of a AAA game, which is weird. But it's from a company that no one knows. But it's got also like Troy Baker and Roger Clark, who was the voice of
Okay.
in Red Dead 2. So it's got pretty big people in it.
It always
But
has.
I don't know how this will turn out. They keep saying it's like a tight game. So if this game is like 5-6 hours long and it's a dope single player and you're done, I will be happy with that.
Well, if it's $70, is that a good thing?
If it's good, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm fine with that.
I'm kind of getting to the point
Money
where I
bags over
wish
here.
we would start tightening up games. I think that a lot of games have a lot of fluff to make it seem
I
like it's
hate
worth that $70 price tag, and it's not. And that feels worse because it's boring.
Mhm.
I'll
Yeah.
take
That's
a
a
short
fair
experience that's stronger than having 30 hours of open world gameplay that most AAA games give us these days. So
I agree.
Still 5 to 6 though. I
But-
feel like you can do 30 to 40 hours. Like, so I guess this Fort Solis, you're going to be like piecing together the mystery of like what happened, right? So it's, you know, it's not that other one that's like Dead Space. It's Dead Space on the ground in a fort, right?
Right.
Maybe, I don't know. But like, yeah, I mean, I feel like if you're going to do a single player, you definitely keep it tight, like to a constrained environment. Like 30, 40 hours feels like, worth the worth the time.
No.
Even that is, I'm starting to hit my limit on those
you
kind of
said
games
30,
as well.
40 hours? 30, 40?
I'm like, yeah, no.
Final Fantasy
I'm
7,
struggling.
it takes 35 to beat. And that's a Japanese RPG. That's a long ass
Yeah.
time, dude.
Yeah, I'm at 36 hours with that game. I haven't played it in months.
Oh,
For the open world RPGs, you don't measure your time in the tens of hours. You measure it in like the days of like.
but that's why I never beat those
Yeah.
open world RPGs.
That's why I never picked it up.
I think 10 to 12 hours is probably like my strong suit of like that's a good game.
Mhm.
I wish if
Yeah.
Last of Us 2 was that amount of time, it would have been good.
I think
it was
the
still
first.
good,
I
but
think
it
the
was better.
first. This is a tangent for sure, but I think the
Yeah.
first Last Effect was like a great length game. I don't know
Yes.
how. I don't know
Yeah.
how long it was.
Yeah.
but it
It's
felt,
about 10 to 12.
It felt. Oh
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
wow, that's surprising.
Maybe 15, depending on
How much extra
how
shit you
play.
I
did.
feel like I'm a slow gamer, but
Especially with that game. There's a lot of stealth, so it takes a little
Mhm.
longer at times, maybe. But yeah, so we'll see how this game turns out.
A lot of
next
games
thing.
that came out. Sorry, it's still a tangent, but I know there's going to
No,
be
go
games
ahead.
that we're going to be skipping that are basically kind of like this. What's with this kind of psychological horror space shit?
I was literally gonna, yeah.
Right?
There's too
Mhm.
much space. I'm sick of fucking space,
There's a lot
dude.
of
We
that.
really decided. Someone played Dead Space from 2008 and was like, "We should do this again," but everyone did it at the same time.
And then again, and
everyone got
again,
the
and
memo
again.
there was
at the
that
exact same time.
that PS5 launch title that was kind of space.
Oh,
scary.
Returnal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Returnal does kind of have a
similar,
Dead Space feel, yeah, even though it's like
Mhm.
a bullet hell kind of game. But
I'm so, and we're gonna keep talking about space like throughout this episode because like
Yeah.
everything is just. I'm so fucking sick of space, dude. I think that's also why I liked Modern Warfare so much because I was just like, finally,
not space.
something not space. I'm fucking sick of jetpacks and lasers. Jesus
And I love
Christ.
sci-fi, but I think we're getting a little overboard here.
Something familiar.
Just bring us more
Yeah.
Mass Effect. That's it.
Mhm.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Next piece of news. This was in this Game Fest, but we were also gonna do this as a separate piece of news. But then it happened again. It's just weird as shit. The Rock showed up at Summer Game Fest in the most awkward way possible, and I hated it in every way. To promote the Black Adam trailer and also his weird energy drink.
He popped in shirtless, talked about his Iron
So-
Paradise, did an ad read for Zoa energy drink, not sponsored, hashtag not an ad,
I hated
and
it.
then showed us the Black Adam trailer.
Interesting.
It was so fucking weird, dude. And I was like, this is I like obviously I'm assuming he's getting paid to do this. Or like they're forcing him to do this as promotion.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
But it's just like this is awkward and terrible, dude. But anyways, besides The Rock, what the fuck are you doing? The actual Black Adam trailer, he can attempt an Egyptian accent just a little bit.
Is the Black Adam Egyptian in the comics?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel like
was
that'd be
very
weird.
disappointed.
I mean, I'm also at the same time, I'm probably happy The Rock isn't doing an Egyptian accent.
yeah, true.
Yeah, that I don't think that would fly. I mean,
It's definitely
maybe
for the
20
best.
years ago, but now.
I guarantee you, they tried. There was a script that he read that he tried to do the Egyptian accent, and they instantly were like, "No." I have a
It's
strong
just-
feeling that they heard it once
It's
and they were
just
like,
so bizarre.
We're not even gonna
let's
try to work on
do
this.
what you know you can play. The Dwayne the Rock Johnson. All right, let's just put
Yeah,
him in
yeah.
this movie. That's what I'm most disappointed about with this because it looks like he's going to be very justified and like kind of like a very light anti-hero.
He's not a bad guy.
And it
Yeah,
looks
it's
like
supposed
all
to be
the
a
people that
villain,
are
right? Or an anti-hero type of thing.
I mean, he started out as a villain in
Mhm.
the comics, and now even in the comics, they've kind of started to make him more towards an anti-hero, but I don't even know how much of an anti-hero he'll be in this.
Yeah. It just
Doesn't
seems like
seem
he's
like
gonna
it.
be straight up, like you're gonna be rooting for him the whole time, which I'm like,
He does deck that jet plane without any remorse.
Right.
True. But I mean,
Yeah. Well, you also see that dude get out with a parachute, so he's fine. So like
Yeah.
I do wonder if he's gonna do any like horrible villainous
No,
things.
it's written in
'cause
Rock's contract. He's not
It really
allowed.
does.
He can't kill anybody.
Yes. But it's like,
Yeah.
but he's so good as like the villain, dude. Like, give me some like WW Rock, like talking smack to people, calling people jabronis. All right, as
Yeah.
Black Adam, like just
Talking about
something-
open cans of whoop ass.
Yeah, like, like it doesn't matter if Shazam.
I'll pay $15 right
Like-
now.
And that's also the thing is that his origin is very much tied with Shazam in the sense that I mean they're clearly doing something different, and he's supposed to be the one that was chosen to be Shazam before Billy, but then he turns into a supervillain, and then that's why Billy becomes the next Shazam. The wizard says, "Never mind, you're bad at this job. I'm picking you, little boy," and that's how he becomes the villain.
So he literally is the Black Shazam. So this is racist. Because they got the same. I don't know anything about these characters, but they look an awful lot alike.
Black Adam.
They both have the
costume, right?
lightning bolt. Yeah, they both get their powers from the same source, but I don't know if they're doing that in this. Who
Just
knows?
one of them's black.
Nega Shazam.
Yeah.
Why
said
can't
nega.
the other one be
Neg.
white Shazam? Let's do that.
You have normal, and then you have black. Obviously.
Yeah,
That ain't right.
it just looks. I mean, hopefully it's fun at least, but
It looks
I don't
pretty cool. I will definitely see it at some
I
point.
think-
I'm excited for Pierce Brosnan because
Yeah.
we haven't seen him in a minute.
Right. He looks like he's been losing some weight and stuff, man. He's looking.
He's got his
cool old man
like
beard.
Colonel Sanders
Yeah.
beard hair thing going
He
on.
looks cool as shit.
Yeah,
I'm
he looks
into it.
great.
I love Shazam. I think Shazam's a great movie,
Shazam
so I really
was
hope
great.
that it keeps
Yeah.
up with this. I think it's one of the best properties DC has right now,
For
so
sure.
I'm hoping they can keep up with that.
If I have to hear The Rock say the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is going to change one more time, I'm going to blow something up. I swear. We get it. You want to beat up Superman. We get it, The Rock.
He's a walking billboard for sure.
Mhm.
So yeah, Black Adam. Really weird that they threw that in there.
Why do you have to be shirtless?
Because he's The Rock.
Do you think that he's ever been in a room that was more like off, like the ratio of like him being the most fit and like everybody else just being so far away from that? I don't know.
My
That's
thing
why
is,
I
if
took
you're going to
the
read
shirt
an ad, don't try to pretend that it's so casual. Like, hey guys, this is me on my iPhone real quick. I just got to
Right.
work out in real quick. Also, Zoa Energy is really good, and you should probably drink it. What? Just stop, man. Just make it record something at that point. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need this.
I mean, sadly, the thing is, that was
That was
clearly
clearly
recorded. That was
recorded.
not live at all.
Right.
Like, he did that by himself and said, yeah, that's fine.
Good enough.
First try. We're done.
Ugh, yeah. Next thing. This is just a really funny trailer because there's some backstory to it. It's Goat Simulator 3, which might surprise people because there wasn't a Goat Simulator 2.
Oh, I was
There
about to say,
wasn't.
when was
It
the
doesn't
second one?
exist. They skipped it and they went straight to 3.
Wow, that's hilarious.
Because they're mad people.
Also,
But-
yeah, the trailer. You're going to talk about that part as well? The trailer that
Yeah,
they did?
do you want to? Go ahead. Tell
So
me
the
about
trailer
it.
that they made looked like the beginning. I don't know if you guys ever played the hit Xbox 360 game Dead Island, popular zombie looter shooter game that came out. I believe Oscar might have had it. I remember playing it with somebody.
I think someone had
Somebody
it. I
had
played
it.
it, but I played a lot of it,
Yeah.
though.
I remember it was a really fun game. They stole basically the trailer, the beginning of the trailer from that. So everyone was like, "Oh my god, these crazy people did it!" Because there was supposed to be a sequel to this game. That just
Well, that trailer was from a remake of the Dead Island 2, which has never been seen since that trailer. It's never come out. That's the only thing people know about it. And so when this came up, people were like, "Oh my god,
they're
is it
finally
actually
doing
finally
it. The
happening?"
crazy people are doing it.
That's
no,
hilarious.
it's goddamn Goat Simulator,
Fucking Goat
Wow.
Simulator.
and not even the
What a
second
good
one.
troll.
Goat Simulator 3. That's hilarious. They skip the second one.
They pulled an iPhone. I don't know what's going on
I
over
kind of
there.
love that.
That is fantastic.
Yeah,
Goat Simulator's fun.
like that's just good marketing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, have you guys played the first Goat Simulator?
Yeah, I've played it.
I watched Brian play a little bit of it.
Yeah.
It looks ridiculous.
It's stupid, but it's fun.
I don't think
What do you do in
I've
Goat
played
Simulator?
any of it.
It's definitely not a simulation of being a goat. That's for sure.
It's basically. It seems like all the ridiculous things that you and your friends do when you're in high school playing Grand Theft Auto. Like aside
Yeah.
from the actual meat and potatoes of the game, just all the things that you would do with cheat codes and trying to break the game and saying, "I wonder if we can do this." That's what Goat Simulator is. But you play as a goat for some reason.
That's probably the best description I've ever heard of that game, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It is trash, but it is fun trash. It's just you trying to do stupid stuff, harassing
You can be
everything, being a minute,
goat. You can
breaking physics and doing weird hijinks. It's my wife's younger brother who's 12. It's like his favorite game. Well, one of many, but
it's probably super hype for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was just a very funny, very good trailer for marketing purposes. It was very funny. Next up, we got Marvel's Midnight Suns, which this game is interesting and weird at the same time in the sense that this trailer, like most of these, is not reflective of what the game is like. The game is a card-based, turn-based RPG. I think it's turn-based.
This is actually one of the games that I'm hands down most excited for.
Yeah,
it looks great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like we all know I love a good not real time strategy. Those are difficult. I like a good turn-based strategy game like Final Fantasy Tactics, XCOM, stuff like that.
You are the strategy guy for sure.
Yeah. I love chess. I love thinking, and I love playing video games that make me think. But this is made by the same people that made XCOM and Civilization, which I never really played, but would probably enjoy that game as well. But so when it first got announced a few months ago, I was like excited about it. But then when I found out that it's card based, I was like, fuck it, forget it, never gonna touch this. Like I don't want to have anything to do with this. But after looking at some of the like gameplay and stuff that they're showing off now, it seems like the cards aren't necessarily like playing cards. They're just a mechanic for the game to make every battle randomized. So you have these set cards or abilities or whatever. But you never know when you get into a battle which abilities you're going to have at your disposal. So like XCOM, you have like your RPG characters with X or whatever, lots of different powers, and you can just use those same powers every single battle. So you know exactly, as soon as I get into this battle, I can use this attack, then this attack, and follow up with this attack. Kind of like you would do with any event in a like an MMO. You start with like your crowd control, then you isolate people off or something like that.
Look at you using buzzwords like crowd control. I'm so proud of you.
What's up? I play games. What's up, guys? Follow me on Instagram. Catch me on Twitch.
Remember, he plays all the Call of Duties.
Yeah, I play all the Call of Duties, guys. But for this, I feel like it's really unique because they're using. I feel like they should have marketed differently, and the way they use the words cards is obviously like a trigger word for me and a lot of other people, I'm imagining. But I feel like they're not really necessarily like you collect them somehow. I don't know how you get these cards or whatever, but they're really just like randomized abilities that you don't have access to.
But also like in the marketing, it's like, at least for me, I didn't know what the fuck this game was when they were for like the past two trailers or announcements they've shown of it. It's like, what is this game going to be?
I would think it would be like that DC game that was coming out that was going to be like a 4-player like action game. Like no, it's
or like an Avengers, like some shit like that. But I was like, so I think I feel like maybe they were doing that on purpose at first to not scare people away. I don't know.
It seems like a brand new like story. I think there's like this demon person lord who I think is in some of the comics, but not super well known. And you play as this player customizable character who is like the hunter and is able to like somehow
that's the part
somehow use their abilities.
You piqued my interest there. Customized character.
Yeah, you somehow have the key to defeating this villain, and you team up with the Avengers and all of the Marvel's greatest heroes and get her done.
And they're like more mystical versions,
right?
And also more mystical Marvel characters like Blade and like Doctor Strange and stuff like that. So it's not like your traditional like Iron Man, even though Iron Man is one of
Iron Man is in there. Yeah. Spider-Man, Wolverine. But I love that there's like a lot of different characters that you don't necessarily see all the time in there. Yeah. I'm excited to like have like a new player created character. It's got a lot of like cool RPG elements. One of the things I found interesting, there's like these are already like well established superheroes by the time the game starts apparently. So you're not leveling up your characters. The characters are never going to get stronger, but the cards or abilities that you get, that's what you level up. And your equipment can get better. It seems pretty cool. I think it's going to be really unique, and it's got a lot of like Mass Effect and BioWare inspiration in there. There's a hub world, and you can like go around and build relationships and get side quests based on each character, and
You know way more about this game than I would have
I think
ever
it's
figured
gonna be
out.
pretty cool. Yeah. Well, as
Yeah.
soon as I like saw a little bit of gameplay and realized that it was like behind the XCOM, I was like, okay, well let me dig a little bit deeper and see what's actually going on here.
They need to hire you for marketing.
They should,
because
yeah.
you sold me more than this trailer did.
I'm
you
available.
told me than what. Yeah, anything else I've seen.
Yeah, props to them for trying something new. I just like.
Right.
I'm curious about this.
Yeah.
Is going to be on Xbox too, right? So how did they get? I don't know how they got Spider-Man, but
They just put Spider-Man
Oh, that's a
everywhere
good
now.
point.
Apparently, you can just throw Spider-Man at the wall. They want money.
oh yeah,
He does
Yeah.
clean the walls.
That is interesting.
He's coming out on PC. So
That's true. Maybe they're getting a little lenient with it.
mm-hmm.
Next thing, someone has marked
I
up
marked it.
Zenless Zone Zero, which I just wrote as anime.
I marked it real quick. I'm sorry, everybody. I'll talk about it real quick. I was made with people that make Genshin Impact, which is a gacha game.
That makes sense.
Which unfortunately, gacha games are very much about spending money and gambling and all the things that I hate about gaming. It's very popular in mobile games, the card-based mobile games, especially stuff like that, which doesn't sound great. I do hear that Genshin Impact is a good game despite that.
It looks good.
But this trailer looked fucking super sick. We were talking about how some of these trailers are really well edited. This is a really well edited trailer that made me super interested. You know, I like the sci-fi, robot, anime stuff. Like, that's my jam. This looks sick.
I see a lot of backpacks.
Of course, that's,
Well, it's anime.
Japanese anime.
They're all
futuristic.
probably going to school at some point.
Nice.
But I don't know. I just felt like this looked really cool, so I'm actually super excited
It
about this.
did,
And I'm
yeah,
sure
yeah,
that means
yeah.
it'll probably be free to play. It'll be a freemium game, which means you won't have to spend money on it unless you want to. That'll at least give you the
Right.
opportunity to try it out and see if it's something that you want to spend money on.
Yeah.
I'll be
That's
playing it.
kinda
I'll
nice.
give it a try. And if it sucks, then I'll be
It's
sad.
got a hell of a name, I'll give you
Yeah,
that.
the name Zenless Zone Zero is not the best name I've ever heard before in my life.
It rolls off the tongue, that one.
It gives me like Jet Set Radio vibes with the aesthetic and the
Oh.
art style.
ZZZ.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
looks
just watched
cool.
the trailer. It looks pretty intense.
Yeah.
I never usually know what to say for most of the games that look like an anime, just because they all look like an anime.
It sucks because there's some really good like Japanese games, but they all look so
Right.
terribly the same when you see a
It's
trailer.
just a lot of bright colors across my eyes.
I played a couple of the Tales series. Those are fun.
Yeah.
Next thing, TMNT Shredder's Revenge, which this game is coming out this week. They just showed off that Casey Jones is a playable character. Also, 6-player co-op.
I don't understand how that works.
That's
Holy
a bit
shit.
much. That's a bit much, especially when 4 of them
Whew.
look the same.
It's true.
That's a lot.
fair.
I can't even get how you gonna get 6 people on a couch.
I don't know. I'm excited though. I'm excited. I think I will download this at some point.
No, it looks great,
Like,
yeah.
I remember having a lot of fun with my brother on our Super Nintendo or whatever
Mhm.
console. I was like
Yeah.
6 years old. I don't even remember. But we played a lot of
I
Ninja
used to
Turtles.
play it a lot in the arcade, one of those games. Yeah. Super hard. So I'm excited about this game. If I can get someone else to play with me, I would definitely be down to play.
They probably got some online mode, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it has crossplay because I'd be on PC, but
Motherfuckers.
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I feel like they should. I feel like more games have
Let's
crossplay lately,
normalize
so
crossplay,
maybe.
guys. It's 2022.
Yeah, for real.
Blame Sony.
Yeah.
Sony hates normalizing crossplay. I don't know what's wrong
That's
with these
true.
people.
It only benefits everyone.
But yeah, it looks great. Next one. This one I'm very excited about. Brian was just playing the demo actually before we started recording. This is Metal Hellsinger, where you have to. It's a Doom clone, but you play to the beat of some rock music in the background. Was it fun, Brian? It looked fun.
At first I was scared about it, and this is quick aside. Let's bring back demos. Bringing back demos, I think, is
Yes.
the best thing that games have been able to do because I
Yeah.
played most of the demos that came out from the Summerfest earlier today. And it's changed my opinion on some of these games wildly.
Oh, nice.
Like there were games that I would have never even considered touching that I'm like, I could buy this game. So it's like,
Right.
and then on the other side, like Marvel Avengers, I was playing that, made sure I didn't buy that game.
Either way, it's still helpful.
It's still helpful. It's helpful for making decisions because these
Yeah.
trailers just don't do enough. Like that Marvel game, these trailers just don't do enough.
Right.
So I was like, I love rhythm games. I'm very much into rhythm games, so I try to play most of the ones that I can. And I was kind of like, idea sounds cool. I like metal, whatever. But I was kind of like, it's not going to be fun. I know it's not because that'd be too happy for me. I'd have too much of a good time. I played that shit. I had a really good time. I'm having a lot of fun with that game. Like
Nice.
I'd be bopping my head as I'm like shooting the little zombies and stuff, and it's very much a
Right.
Doom clone.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't look great, but I
Yeah.
don't. I think that's not the purpose. It
Right.
looks like a Doom.
The
clone.
purpose
It's
is to
like-
listen to cool metal
not that
music
polished,
while
but
killing
yeah.
zombies, which is kind of what
Right.
Doom already is.
Mhm.
But there's something
Right.
about keeping that beat with it as well that kind of made me feel pretty good about it. Like something about like right at the drop of a beat, like doing a crazy assassination move, and it's like boom, and music comes back. It's like, okay, that felt pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to see it.
How does it work? Like, I mean, I'm assuming there's music constantly playing all the time. So is there a point where there's no music at all and you can't fire?
So you can still fire and stuff, but it's just like at that point, because basically it's a score-based game. It's kind of got that bullet hell kind of feel to it, where you're basically trying to do things quickly. There's a story mode and there's a story, but I'm sure there's also going to be like a survival mode,
right?
Stuff like that kind of wants people to get high scores and stuff. But you get most of your score and your damage from hitting things on the beat. So you're kind of rated the same way you are in Guitar Hero, where you have like good, perfect, or miss.
I see.
And every time you miss, you lose your multiplier. And then
I thought it was that you literally can't fire unless it's to the beat of the music, which I thought would be very interesting.
Yeah, no, you can still play the game if you have no rhythm, but you will struggle. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. There's a little indicator that lets you know what the beat is for people that really just struggle with that kind of thing. But no, I was having fun with it. I'm hoping a lot of people will be interested in, or at least enough for them to consider doing more stuff like this, because I think it's interesting. I like when people just try new things. Yeah, do something different.
Yeah. Creativity.
I would love to see like a sequel to this, or like the same studio do like a martial arts version or something.
That'd be pretty cool too.
So
Yeah,
physical hand-to-hand comic would be kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A good anime for that if you like hip hop music and also like kung fu fighting and stuff like that. Samurai Champloo,
Cowboy Bebop. Oh, word.
Well, they're made by the same person. Cowboy Bebop made them.
Oh, neat! I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've watched a good bit of Cowboy, but I haven't. I heard a lot about the other one, but I haven't seen that yet.
It's very short. It's not a very long watch, so I'd recommend that.
Ooh, I like to hear
cool
that.
beats. Yeah.
Next thing. This was the last thing of the Summer Game Fest, and sadly, it got leaked like hours before it happened. There's a big Last of Us universe update, basically. Neil Druckmann, the co-creator of the Last of Us, came out. The big thing is they're remaking one. We'll get to that in a second. But before that, he did talk about the Factions multiplayer and the HBO show, both of which I am very excited for. They showed just one little screenshot of the Factions multiplayer, and it looks huge, dude. And it seems to me like, because this, they like they said, this is turned into like a standalone title, basically. That it sounds like we're going to see a lot of it next year. Maybe it comes out next year. Who knows? But it looks as if it's like survival, but it also has a story. They say this multiplayer has a story. So it sounds like it's going to be like a weird survival co-op with friends in a open world universe type of thing, which I'm interested in. I hope it's not like a Division. Not that that's bad. Like I played that and it was fine, but I hope it's a little better than that and more story focused, because that was my one complaint about those games, is that the story's kind of boring.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm very interested in that.
I wonder if they're shooting for like almost like a Fallout 76 kind of, like you said, like Division or something
God,
like that.
I hope not.
No, I'm kind of, because they call it like being big, and that's what's kind of making me nervous.
Right.
Stop calling it big, because I think Factions was like whatever was on the first Last of Us. That was an amazing version of a game, and I hope they build on that instead of making something completely different. Yeah, because then I think there's a lot of room for fucking it up, for lack of better words.
I do wonder if there is also going to be like a multiplayer mode that is more just deathmatch, team deathmatch type of stuff within this world as well. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think this sounds really cool. Honestly, I'm really sick of the whole team deathmatch, like jump in, shoot a bunch of people, die, respawn, rinse and repeat. It just, one, I'm not very good at it, so it's not fun for me. But two, I'm always more interested in the story. So I think this sounds like a really great version of like a multiplayer story based. Like we all love the stories that Naughty Dog tells. So I have really high hopes for this.
It'll be very interesting to see them take a crack at this.
I'm a little bit bummed that we have to wait even longer. It sounds like it's going to be a completely separate disc that we're going to have to download or buy.
Oh yeah, there's a whole game now. It's standalone.
I think it's going to be great though. I sure hope it is.
No, I was actually talking to a friend recently about this, because Battle Royale, of course, is the buzzword of right now. That's the popular genre of game. Everyone's Battle Royale in their game. I want to go back to the days where we had a lot of games that had very different multiplayer experiences. Yes. Like everything was not just a shooter, Halo, whatever, Apex Legends. You had games like Assassin's Creed had a really cool multiplayer where you could play Assassins, and you had to pretend that you were blending in and stuff, so that you think you're like, it was like a prop and hunt seek kind of game when it came down to it. That was super interesting. Last of Us, what it gave us was pretty interesting. Your people on your friends list were dying in your fucking camp.
That was so sad, bro.
I could never get that to work. They would just be like random Joe Bob or whatever.
Yeah. At some point, it seemed like the system was really fucked and just would never work for me either. Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought that was kind of interesting. So I'm hoping we're going back to that kind of thing, where it's like there's different kinds of multiplayers that aren't just, like you said, just deathmatch, shoot 'em up, go home. nothing matters.
Yeah, I need stakes. I need something to matter. Aside from a scoreboard.
Yeah. As far as their HBO update, he did show us another image from the show, which we actually got to see their faces of Pedro and Bella Ramsey as Joel and Ellie. It looks like Last of Us. I'm very excited. But the other cool thing is he brought out two voice actors and I guess motion capture actors for Joel and Ellie and said they are going to have significant roles in this show. They're not just like bit cameo parts. So that's pretty damn cool.
Because that's what Troy Baker needs. More work. Great. He needs more money.
Yeah, so it's it's Troy Baker and I forget the other woman's name.
Ashley Johnson.
Yeah, who played Joel and Ellie, but they're not going to be Joel
and Ellie.
No.
Yeah, that's super interesting. But you're gonna hear their voices and gonna think Joel and Ellie.
Well, no, you're gonna see them as actors, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess their voices too.
When I hear Troy Baker's voice, I think of every single character that man's ever played in his life.
Yeah,
he's got a very distinct voice.
I really wonder what they're gonna be. I hope one of them's a bad person. That'd be great.
Yes, I hope it's Troy.
Funny.
I think that'd be funny.
Yeah.
He's so pretty, so it'd be funny for him to be a bad person.
I know. They're going to have to dirty him up a bit.
It's really pretty looking at this video. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, got nice hair. Why your hair so nice?
He got anime hair. And then the last thing, like we said, that was leaked was they remade The Last of Us, the now called The Last of Us Part 1 for the next gen. They said it's from the ground up. If you look at it side by side, because I looked at the trailer, I was like, I don't know how much better this looks. It looks good, but I don't know how much. But if you look at the side by side, it's like, oh shit, they really changed quite a bit to the character models themselves and stuff. But they said they built everything from the ground up. They said the AI system is tweaked. I'm hoping that means like the gameplay is tweaked a bit, which would be if it's more like part 2.
I think that's what they're going
pretty
for.
Fucking amazing.
Interesting.
Because at this point, when I want to see the gameplay first, but I'm getting this day one. I love that game so much, and that
another important thing we need to talk about: this shit coming out for PC.
Wow!
Sony has finally let open the pearly gates and have given the PC gamers some PlayStation games to play because they found out, damn, we can make a lot of damn money if we let the PC players play. They saw Xbox doing it, and they're like, maybe we should get in on this. God of War sold crazy, and they're like, we're gonna do this all these games.
Right.
So people that maybe never got to play Last of Us, the first one especially, they get to finally play this game. I think that's
pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. And then, so no word on part 2 for PC yet, but just part 1, which part 2 will cut there eventually, I would imagine. So
I'll be fine with that just being a direct port. I think it still holds up well enough.
I'm pretty excited. I haven't played this game probably in like 5-6 years or whatever. I can't remember. So it's a nice, good time for me to get back and play that again and see how it goes. I'm very excited for this. And it's actually, he did say that he wanted it to get as close to what their original vision was and to create the most definitive version, which the definitive is a triggering word lately, but I believe in Naughty Dog that this will actually be a definitive version.
Wait, why is that triggering? Because it's not going to work?
Because Rockstar created that GTA definitive edition and it was a bunch of garbage.
We love some definitive. They're talking about Sonic Origins definitive edition of the old 3 Sonic
garbage
games. Stop using the word definitive. I don't need anything else to be definitive anymore. Let me choose what's definitive.
Just remember, Oscar, one of these days, Naughty Dog is going to let you down. Okay, it happened with CD Projekt Red.
I was about to say,
never knows from experience.
Yeah.
Be warned. Hear my cautionary tale.
My heart will be broken one day.
Hear me and beware.
Until that day, I believe in Naughty Dog. That's pretty much Summer Game Fest. Sorry we skipped your shit.
We hit all of them. That's all the games, guys.
That's everything.
All the games.
There's been a bunch of other fucking conferences that we're not going to get to, but there is one that was in the Devolver Direct for a game called the Plucky Squire that I thought looked fucking adorable and really innovative actually in the trailer.
Wait, what is this?
Blends within 2D and 3D and you can play on like a cup. Just look at the trailer. It looks so cool, the amount of environments you can play on type of thing.
This looks like Toy Story.
Devolver Digital makes very inspired games. I don't play a lot of them, but they definitely make some interesting games, and I will give them that. They're very loose with their IPs. I don't know if that's a good thing. I guess it works for them. They also have really crazy conferences too, which has always been a weird thing.
Yeah, it's fucking weird as shit.
I don't know if this one was crazy, but yeah, they always have some weird ass conferences.
Oh, this looks super cute.
Oh, they're in like a storybook? Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, like it's so creative, and I was like, this is a breath of fresh air, and I'm really into this.
It is a fighting game. What is happening?
There's so much.
Okay, I might be interested in this game actually.
Wow.
Yeah, so I just wanted to bring that up out of the 4 games that they showed.
I see the third dimension coming to life right now.
It's giving me a lot of It Takes Two vibes. I think they definitely were inspired by that game.
I really want to play that still.
It's a really good game, especially to play with like your spouse. It's a great game to play, especially people that maybe don't like video games so much. It's an amazing
I
game.
thought you were gonna say people who don't like their spouse.
No, I mean maybe you can do a lot of things.
This will bring you together, maybe.
Like parental relationships on the
Right.
brink, right?
Yeah. It's about on the brink of divorce. So yeah, if you are having some issues with your spouse, maybe it's a good thing to play that game.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, that game looks pretty awesome. I didn't see this.
Yeah, that's cool shit.
2023, so not anytime soon, but still very, very interesting. I'm very interested in how that turns out.
Looks like it's all platforms.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Netflix also had to say fuck you and put out a bunch of crap this week. They had their Geeked Week. They showed out a bunch of Netflix new stuff. One of them being, which I'm very excited about, is that they announced Castlevania Nocturne, which is a new series for this Castlevania show, which I fucking love and think it might be the best video game adaptation ever.
Whoa.
I think you're probably right about it.
Fucking amazing. This one, you see the main character is going to be Richter, which is a descendant of your main characters from the previous series. No spoilers on how any of that happens, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just so excited to be back in this world. And
Look
what
at that tall drink of water right there. Man, pretty as hell.
Yeah, they're all pretty in the Castlevania show.
They really are.
Is Richter in Smash? He's one of the
I think
characters,
he is, yeah.
Do we know which there's so many Castlevania games. Do we know which game Richter was in?
From what I've seen, he's in one of the most famous Symphony of the Night, which I believe people are very excited about because that means that we get to that storyline, it sounds like.
That's cool.
So I'm just excited to be back in that world.
That sounds great. Yeah.
I've only played the first one, so I couldn't say anything about Castlevania.
The next thing, Brian, I'm wondering your opinion on this. Dragon Age Absolution. They doing a Dragon Age animation
I'm hyped.
show?
I am not hyped.
Oh, no.
I'm watching the trailer for the first time right now, but I'm excited.
It looks so uninspired. I hate that I keep using these words, but I think it's very appropriate to talk about some of these things as whether inspired or uninspired. This is uninspired.
Oh,
this
no.
looks like straight money bait to me. It's supposed to be about the Deventers, who are supposed to, at that time, there's this big conflict between mages and Templars, and at this point, the mages held the power. So if you weren't a mage, you were basically not a slave, but you were under the govern of the mages. Deventer Empire was very interesting in the fact that they have these crazy, tall, skinny, interesting, intricate buildings. So they're very they're almost like, I'm trying to think of what a culture I could compare them to. Like a very, they're into jewelry and the nice things, fine wine, and stuff like that. This looks like none of that. This just looks like, I don't know. It looks like nothing. It looks like nothing to me. I'm pretty disappointed in what I've seen so far.
When I watched it, and the only note I wrote in my notes was cool. So that's all I had for it.
Yeah, I'll watch it for the culture, and because I pay like $1,200 a month to have Netflix at this point, so I'm gonna get my money's worth no matter what.
You should call them. That sounds expensive.
Sounds like you're getting ripped off.
That's all that for 2 screens. Can't even watch more than that. But yeah, I don't see the character models don't look. I can't tell the difference between any of the characters. I feel like it's one of those shows that I won't remember anyone's name when I finish it. And that's kind of makes me nervous.
I'll be honest. I just finished the trailer and it doesn't look. It looks okay. I'm more excited just because it's Dragon Age. I just love Dragon Age.
Yeah,
I do love Dragon Age. If it tells a good story.
I wonder how it's going to fit into the whole universe of the games and if there's going to be any, actual tie-ins or.
Right.
I doubt it. It looks like the same animation style as that. The Nightmare of the Wolf or the Dota show.
Yes, it's made by the people that made Nightmare of the Wolf. So I think that's the only thing that could be their saving grace is the fact that it's made by people that did make it a pretty decent anime already.
The animation in that movie was good. Cuphead, the Cuphead show is getting season 2. We showed some clips. I loved that first season. I talked to you guys about it. It was one of my free-for-alls a while back. So just more of that I'm very excited about, even though the fact I've never played that game and I still want to this day.
I still need to watch it. We're going to have to just buckle down and just buy it. So I'll play it with you if you want to play it.
It's gone on sale so many times. And I'm like, I still don't want to pay.
It's not enough.
It's not enough. I don't want to pay $18 for a game.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really hard. I think I played it for 5 minutes once. It's really hard.
That's also why I don't want to spend that much money. I was like, what if I don't enjoy this and want to play it?
And just want to play it once and then not play it ever again.
It's probably more fun and more easy to play with somebody.
I'm sure, yes.
Definitely on co-op for sure.
More easy is a word, by the way. Don't judge me.
one word. No hyphen.
He's got baby brain, so you get an excuse.
It is well past my bedtime at 9:40 o'clock.
O'clock.
All right. And also, Brian, this one I wanted to as well. Sonic Prime got a tiny clip. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I like this.
It looks It's funny that the new game coming out, Sonic Frontiers, which doesn't look great, visually looks better than an actual pre-rendered animation.
Why does this Sonic look like he's running so slow, but he's supposed to be going so fast?
And then it's like the environment, the rings that show up in the beginning, they should not have put those rings there. The way they're all uniform moving, it reminds me of like early 2000s animation, where it's like, y'all don't know what you're doing.
It looks weird.
What's really unfortunate is I think they picked a really good voice actor for Sonic. Like, he sounds like Roger Craig Smith really closely. Like, he's really good at it. But unfortunately, this show's gonna suck. It's gonna suck. I also don't know what they're doing with Big the Cat. I think they're trying to get away with him appearing potentially mentally challenged, because that's not what Big the Cat's ever sounded like.
Oh, no.
He does more like a Froggy, where are you? But they have this guy. He's like, hey, what's up, Sonic? It's me, Big the Cat.
I
like,
see.
What's happening here?
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on there. But yes, seeing that kind of ruined it for me. I like the still images I saw. This looks bad.
Yeah.
The shadows look bad. I'm looking at it again. I'm just getting mad all over again.
I mean, speaking of shadows, there was a bit that Shadow is in this as well.
Yeah.
So
we'll see how that goes.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Sonic
Once again,
it's such a hit or miss with that franchise, isn't it?
And that's what's crazy
like
to me as well.
The biggest hit or miss of anything I've ever seen.
So the last show they made was Sonic Boom. The game was unfortunately terrible, but the show itself was really, really good. One of the best things that they've put out. So I don't know what happened with this one. And I mean, I can't say it, but so much because it hasn't come out yet.
Right.
But this is not a good show until so far. Yeah, I'm nervous about it. I think this might not be Sonic's year at his 31st anniversary.
It might not be. It might not.
Brian, it just occurred to me that, as bad as the Halo show was, at least the game was still good. But for you, you don't get either. You don't get
I don't get anything, man. I don't get nothing, dude. I just replay the older ones and try my best.
That is your curse.
It's true.
That is the curse of being a Sonic fan.
You can't beat the originals, I guess.
Yeah. All right. So next, just happened earlier today. The Xbox and Bethesda, because I forgot that Microsoft owns Bethesda now, so that was weird. The Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase happened just mere hours ago. And they unveiled a bunch of stuff and blah, blah, blah. Yes, we're going to miss your favorite thing. I'm so sorry. But first thing that I saw that kind of piqued my interest was a funny game. It's High on Life, which is by the Rick and Morty guys, Justin Roiland, which he is just doing the same voice he does in every game, but it's just, I don't know what it is. It just makes me laugh. It's just so funny for some dumb reason.
I'm glad that you're interested in this game.
It looks goofy fun. It's a first-person shooter. There's a knife that yells at you when you kill people and shit. It's ridiculous.
They got that from Borderlands. The Borderlands did things like it's like the animation stuff is really interesting, but I don't know why. I'm just mad. I just don't I don't want to see any more Rick and Morty-esque nonsense. You know what I mean? And maybe it's just because the fan base is so rabidly disgusting that it just makes me hate anything that comes from Justin Roiland. It
is unfortunate, yes.
I'm sure it's good, but yeah. I hope people like it, because it looks like they're definitely trying to do something. There's another game that was kind of similar to this as well that they might have taken some inspiration from. It was an original Xbox game made by the people that made Abe's Odyssey.
Oh, yeah.
Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey. There we go.
Yeah.
But it was Oddworld, and it was a first-person shooter. Stranger's Wrath. That game was amazing. But it had guns like some guns would talk to you. They have eyes and stuff, and they would say fuck shit to you to make you feel bad if you missed your shot and stuff. So it kind of gives me that little vibe a little bit. And it's just really weird and uncanny like this. It's a great game. So if you're going to take inspiration from anything, take inspiration from that, because it's a lot of fun. Right. I probably won't play it unless it's on Xbox Game Pass. It might be.
Which let's just say that now. That was the motto of this conference. I don't know how many of these trailers at the end said day one on Game Pass, which I was like,
music to my ears.
Wow, dude.
If there's
how much money does Microsoft have?
If there's nothing I don't love hearing more is day one on Game Pass, baby. I ain't paying for nothing.
Like, holy shit. Man, it's crazy.
I pay my $10 and I get to play games all day. I don't get people have been complaining about Game Pass saying there's not enough. Those people are stupid. I'm getting my money's worth and then some. I'm playing Xbox Game Pass. I got 30 games on my play later right now to this day.
It's too many games.
Right, too many games.
Too many games.
I had like a 5-month sample of it, and I was supposed to cancel it like yesterday, and I was like, I kind of want to keep it. Like,
I'm only paying $10 a month because I only have a PC. I don't have an Xbox, but I would even pay the $15 if I had Xbox too to play that many games. But yeah, for what I'm paying, I can't I'm playing enough games that it's worth it, you know?
Absolutely.
That was the whole model of all of these conferences was space and then day one on Game Pass. All right, this one I just brought up because it was very funny. Flight Simulator, which I know people love, but the end of this trailer is a fucking Halo tie-in. You can fly the ship from Halo.
The funniest thing about it is that was the only Halo news to come out of this whole entire conference.
It
Spoiler
sure
alert.
fucking was.
They didn't tell
It
you
sure
anything
was.
else that was going to happen with Halo Infinite or even maybe the Halo TV show. No. The only thing they tell you is, hey, Flight Simulator, you can now play as a fucking pelican. Give a fuck. I don't care if you play the music.
It sounds cool. It's very like it's like that they're on that Top Gun like vibe where they're trying to like people are all into flying now. So
hey, man,
it's just very
always
funny.
wanted to fly a pelican, and the one little bit from Halo 4 was not enough. Okay, I want to do
I would say those shits always get shot down. I don't want to fly that.
True.
They also finally fully, I guess, announced Overwatch 2, which we've known about, but now there's a date. Also
There's
free to play.
A lot of interesting things happen about this. One, I can't believe they're already putting Activision Blizzard under, well, I guess still Activision Blizzard, under the umbrella of Microsoft already. Because I know that deal can't be finished yet. I didn't think that was going to happen until 2023. But they were just like, hey, show your shit at our conference. And they made this game, not only did they push up the release date, because it's supposed to be coming out 2023. It's calling it early access with October that is coming out now, 2022. They also are going to make it free to play.
That's
which
weird.
is the best decision they could have made when it came to this. This game was not going to sell well otherwise. I guarantee it. They were in development hell. No one even knows what the game was supposed to be. This game was not going to sell. The only thing they could have done. That is one
thing I've been hearing is that people are like, you didn't really need to make a sequel to Overwatch.
You did not. That's the thing. Overwatch 2 multiplayer, which is very big, and most people played Overwatch 1 and already owned the game, was going to carry over. That if you own Overwatch 1, you could still play Overwatch 2's multiplayer. That's going to be the base multiplayer at that point. So the only thing you were paying for was the single player, which most people don't seem to have that much interest in. I think they finally recognized that after 4 years of development with this shit, that, this might be a bad idea, and we need to cut and try something different. My only worry is what does that mean for what they want to put inside the game to make up that money that they lost in making this game?
Right. Loot boxes galore, bro.
But that's the thing. It's like loot boxes have been a fighting point for a long time when it comes to these kind of games. We talked a lot today about gambling and the way a lot of this stuff feels kind of gross. Freemium usually means that you'll get a battle pass and you have to pay money for skins in a skin store. Overwatch currently doesn't really have that. You buy loot boxes and you get a chance at things. You can't just straight buy a skin other than like the esports skins or whatever.
Right.
They might change that. I hope they don't. Like I don't have any rumors or anything about whether they will do this. But usually when a game is freemium, you get two things, which is a battle pass and item store. Guaranteed. That's what Halo has right now. Free to play. First time ever. And that's what happened. So I'm nervous about that because I love Overwatch because I paid my whatever amount of money that I paid. And then I'm still able to get the skins that I want without spending money. Which that's all that I care about. So we'll see.
I've literally only played Overwatch one time, and that was with you, Brian.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I played it on a keyboard, and it was miserable because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. But I know there are people that genuinely love this universe and these characters, and it's a very good fucking game. So cool.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with it. I'm excited that I don't have to pay anything. I was gonna buy it if they was gonna have to pay for it.
I like the trailers a lot. Like the trailers of the characters of the story and stuff. I just couldn't believe it wasn't made by like Pixar because like they just look so Disney like.
But it's also one of those games where I'm like, I get frustrated because there is no single player story, yet those trailers are so cool and good, and it's like, why just make a single player? Then?
And this is what they want to do. They want to rectify that. But the single player stuff that they do introduce, the co-op stuff that they have, isn't good.
It's not good.
It's just not very fun, unfortunately. So hopefully they make it better than that. But now that it's free to play, who cares? I don't care if it's bad because I just won't play it. No harm, no foul.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Their animation team at Blizzard is impeccable.
So good.
And I really wish they would make a movie and stop fucking around.
Right. Next thing up, this one is just funny as well. Forza Horizon 5, they have some Hot Wheels DLC where it's like GTA inspired with those ridiculous races, but it's the literal Hot Wheels tracks you can race on, which looks funny as shit. And I'm sure Forza people that like those games are probably going to have fun, but I was like, damn, Hot Wheels though.
the best brand deal, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Just very funny.
Wild to me.
I think it'd be cool.
Let's quickly talk about Vin Diesel's Arc 2. A game that I completely forgot that got that teaser like a year ago or whatever with him in it, and it never heard of again, and yet he's back. He's back. He's back again riding a dinosaur.
Why Vin Diesel?
It's so
These
so
dinosaurs
weird.
are family.
Yeah. He's gonna put some boosters on that dinosaur.
I mean, Art Combat Evolved is a pretty ugly game, but people did enjoy it. It's been free to play for a while.
From what I hear, this game is going to be very different, like a
Yeah.
third-person, more action-y game than that first one, which is isn't the first one like a survival game?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's hideous too. It's really ugly, but you could have a pet dinosaur, which that's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, once again, day one on Game Pass, boys. So I'll give it a try. I have no reason not to. Otherwise, I was not going to even look at this game's direction.
You'll have to be the one to let us know then how Vin Diesel is.
I was not going to look at this game's direction. I wonder if he's actually like a character that you meet, or if he's someone important, or if he'll show up once, grunt.
I better be him. I want to be Vin Diesel.
So I want to see you can customize your character in Ark, an original one. I don't know if it would be like that. I don't know enough about it. I never played it. I've had it for years and just haven't even installed it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll let you guys know. I'll play it.
Scrolling all the way down. Wu Long Fallen Dynasty. I'm only excited because at the very end of this game is a character from Dynasty Warriors that it looks
and
like
it was so funny. So I was watching this with my friends earlier today, and as soon as they showed that game, I was like, "This has that same feel. These type of games that one of my friends likes a whole lot." And I used to play a lot as a kid, and I was like, "What's that game called?" I'm pretty sure it's Dynasty Warriors. And then next thing you know, motherfucking Lu Bu
boys.
Up, and I was like, no, it is Dynasty Warriors.
Oh man, I was so excited.
It's like I don't even mess with the game enough to even remember that was a thing, but I know this man.
Oh my god,
I'm so mad.
That's who I was going to ask. Like, it's a character from Dynasty Warriors. It's got to be Lu Bu.
It's totally yeah.
So
but
yeah,
I found this interesting is that this is not only from the people that do Dinosaurs, but it's also Team Ninja and who made that Nioh game that people really like. That's kind of like a Dark Soulsy Bloodborne type of game. Basically, a very fucking frustratingly hard game to play. So I wonder if it's going to be like that
hard. Yeah.
That's very interesting. So that's kind of cool.
I think I have
new IP, I guess.
Another game that I have and have never played. I might have both of them.
Yeah. This was the beginning of Microsoft's long stretch, which we're about to talk about now, of clearly they have an agenda to try and get a Japanese audience onto Xbox, especially with this next announcement of Persona 3, 4, and 5 are coming to Xbox, which is fucking crazy, man.
Once again, PC boys winning. I've been waiting to buy Persona for the longest time because I know it's a really long game. I just didn't want to get into it. And so I was like, why not wait to the lowest price that it can be to actually buy it and play through it? Because I'm into those kind of games. Of course, they were PlayStation. Now it's going to be on Game Pass, baby. So once again, I get to play a game that I was going to eventually buy, but now I don't have to because I already pay a subscription fee for this.
It's crazy, though. It's like, wow.
Xboxes do not sell in Japan. I think they've sold so far, last time they've seen an Xbox Series X, like 300,000 in Japan. Like a really low number. Like it was not good at all. Like people don't care about
Xbox that high, to be honest with you.
I do wonder if this is going to help.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're cheaper. That's a big thing as well. Is they're easier to find and they're cheaper, and that might start being the selling point for them. The same way that the lower price of Xbox 360 was. I mean, seriously though, I think Xbox 360 won that generation because of its initial cheaper access to buy. I just saw an Xbox Series S for I think it was like $250. That's the price of a Switch, maybe even less than a Switch at launch. Like, and they're very portable. They're very easy to pick up and play. Like, and Game Pass, you get a Netflix subscription to just play video games without having to pay for them.
That's pretty crazy.
They're doing they have something interesting here that I'm curious to see how it unfolds.
And speaking of trying to get a Japanese audience, this was probably the biggest announcement, even though it came with no game, no knowledge. This game's probably not going to be seen for fucking 5 years, but they got him. They got Hideo Kojima on Xbox, dude.
Hideo Kojima came up there just to go up and say, hey, here's an announcement of an announcement I'm going to make someday.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, whoa! Yeah!
Right.
Damn, man must hate Japan. He must hate Konami so much that he's willing to go to Team Xbox, man. Talk about changing flags.
Right. I mean, like, this isn't the first time. I remember when they first were going to do that Metal Gear Rising game with Raiden as the main character. That was at an Xbox conference. That was the first time that happened. And so I was like, oh shit. So he's not unknown to do this, but it is interesting. They never said that it's exclusive, but you would imagine it probably is. But I don't know, because was Death Stranding exclusive?
So it came out on PlayStation, eventually came out on PC. I can't remember if it came out on Xbox.
Okay, so then it probably is, or at least it'll be Xbox and then PC probably. But yeah, this might be that rumored horror game that he's making. Potentially, I doubt it's Death Stranding 2. There's probably no.
Please
way
God, don't. He would have just said it. I feel like if it was,
yeah,
it has to be a new IP. I'm sure.
But it is interesting. He seems to just be doing it. I like it that he's just doing his own thing. He's going wherever he wants to do. He's creative new things. Like, keep doing that. Yeah.
He's a great creative. I'm excited to see what I'm not into things like Death Stranding, but I will say that it's a very interesting concept for a game. He definitely likes to push the boundaries.
Right. Yeah. And then the last thing, this is the one that most people are waiting for, that I'm not underwhelmed. I'm whelmed. Just regular whelmed. That is Starfield. That is the big Bethesda space Fallout game. That, yeah, it looks like space Fallout to me, so I don't really give a shit.
I love Bethesda games. I've played quite many of them at this point. And Starfield, like I said, I think we talked about this a little bit earlier. I prefer sci-fi to fantasy, so like this kind of stuff is really up my alley from at least what I expected. When I heard about this game, I was super excited. Now that I've seen it, I'm more on the fence than I was, and that's a little disappointing. Yeah. But I guess we can only see. Also, it didn't help that the person that was like playing the demo, quote unquote, kind of sucked. So it made things look a little rough. That like they were just like standing in the open, and everybody was missing them, and they were just shooting at people, and it felt kind of like Mass Effect Andromeda in setting, but then with like worse combat.
I will say that the shooting looks better than it's ever been.
Yes, it looks more like shooter. It looks less like bullet sponge. It looks like I don't have to use that system or some stupid shit to assist me with shooting.
Because like that, everyone knows that the shooting in Fallout and then the melee in Skyrim are terrible.
Yes, they're not good at combat when it comes to these video games, for sure.
So that looks like a really big improvement, and it does look pretty. It doesn't look like the prettiest thing I've ever fucking seen, but it does look pretty. And it's one of those games also that's just like, he says there's over 1,000 planets.
Okay, so this is what's going to bother me, because this is what Mass Effect wanted to do. Now, this game's coming out next year, so I assume they're pretty far into development right now.
Telling us that there's 1,000 planets to explore? I don't know, Brian. What like?
That's the thing that I'm a little bit worried about, because it's exactly what was the detriment of Mass Effect Andromeda. And I know this game is supposed to be set out for next year, and the thing that set back Mass Effect Andromeda so much was them trying to figure out how to do exactly this. So this game said that you can explore any planet in the system, and then said you can go around any planet in any system. And then he said there are 100 systems. That is a lot of planets. So either there's not going to be shit to do on any of these planets, or this isn't going to work. Something's going to go wrong.
There's no way each of those planets is fun.
Right. And that's kind of how the original Mass Effect was, where it's like, oh, you can go on these planets, but it's barren wasteland of nothing. Which some should be
a resource planet,
right? Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but like this is exactly what Mass Effect wanted to do, and it was to their detriment that they tried to do it for so long and figure out how to make so many planets because they wanted to be big on exploration, like this game. They failed and failed and failed and failed and failed. They got down to the cusp and then spent $6 making the worst game you could have possibly imagined out of necessity because they had to ship something.
Are you talking about Mass Effect?
Andromeda.
Mass Effect Andromeda tried to do what Andromeda. This game is saying they're going to do right now. And that's scary to me because that was what made that game tank. It went through development hell for that.
Right. But they developed it for 5 years and then they cut everything that they had worked on and then made a game in 1 year. So so with this game, if they spend 6 years actually making it and actually keep everything that they made from 6 years,
maybe, yeah. I don't know. But if it works, let's see if it works. Because that's that thing is exploration was so much easier when games weren't as big as they are. But now I think it's really hard to make. For me personally, you have to do something to give me incentive to explore. If it's no incentive to explore, if it's boring to explore, I'm not going to do it. I just don't care about it. A lot of games have been doing that. Like Andromeda had these big sprawling worlds that you can drive around, but they were fucking boring. But then on the other end, Breath of the Wild had a big sprawling world, and it was interesting to explore. It felt good to do that. So they're putting them. Yeah, Elden Ring.
Elden Ring's in a finite,
area, right? Elden Ring doesn't have 800 more planets to look at.
Right, but I do feel like there is this like, maybe it's not even for the gamer. It's like just kind of to prove that we can do it kind of thing in the gaming industry of like, just bigger.
Then make
As
Flight
big as we can
Simulator.
make it. Like that's kind of what they're trying to do here.
Don't make a video game. Make Flight Simulator.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, but because will they be like, I feel like the problem would be if they have to make all the worlds ahead of time and make all the stuff in them like unique, right? But if it's like, doesn't No Man's Sky work where it's just kind of like a mathematical, like it just generates new stuff?
It's procedurally generated, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a set amount of like different arms and different like tree limbs and things like that, and things are just randomized. But
Right.
I feel like that could work for a game on this scale, like a more serious game. But you just like tweak those parameters a little bit more abstractly, so it's not just like, oh, this is like creature number 1 of this planet, this is creature number 1 of this planet, so they don't kind of feel like the same, just like reskin. I feel like it's possible to do that a bit better and bigger, but hopefully like it's a little bit of procedurally generated and a little bit of like hand customized things all kind of blended together.
Yeah. I think if they hadn't said that, I would have been a lot less worried about this game.
I already hate it because it's gonna be too damn big.
Yeah, that struck fear into my heart when they did that, and I was like, "That's
right." And like, is it each planet you can go to, and you can only explore like 10 square miles of each planet?
No, he specifically even said you can land anywhere on the planet.
He said the city that you want to go to is right here, but you could just go and land all the way on the other side of the planet. And I was like, "What? Why do I want to do that?"
I don't know.
Interesting. I wonder how long does it take to like navigate a whole planet?
Days?
We got a lot of questions. He didn't answer any, but he gave us a lot more.
It seems like he wants this to be the last game you play for the rest of your life.
Interesting.
I just like if you could actually walk from like the circumference of a planet, there's going to be people out there that would do it.
Yeah.
Like, just to do it. Like to walk around an entire planet and just explore one planet.
I mean, technically you could do that. What is it? Super Mario Galaxy had like hundreds of planets that you you walk around a whole planet in 30 seconds though, but like that's a planet. Yeah, maybe less. They're like tiny little.
Maybe
you can see 10 of them on screen at once.
That's how big those planets are going to be in this game.
Yeah. I hope they're like, like go around the whole planet in like an hour at most, maybe, Like if all of the planets and all of the solar systems or whatever that they have equal the size of like the biggest open world game that we have to date, or maybe a little bit like 1.5 of those biggest games, that sounds reasonable. But if it's like a giant open world game on each planet that takes a day to walk around, like that's just stupid. And that's when there's going to be nothing to do on each of those planets except for that 1 or 2 towns on different poles of the planet.
Right. Which seems like, I don't know.
But I'm excited to like, build some outposts, play some simulator, some sims, to hire some people to, build some farms and make a freaking spaceship. That sounds like really cool.
It sounds stressful, the amount of customization that it's going to give you, though.
Yeah,
right.
But it seems like they're putting so much into this game. I think that's my only worry, is that when you put this many options and stuff into a game, that not all of it's going to work out, obviously. So, but hopefully the stuff that works really well. So we'll see how this game turns out. Yeah.
Yeah, if the combat's fun, I mean, that could make up for a lot. But I mean, these Fallout games recently have been, or the Bethesda games, I should say, have been always been more about looting and building something, like building like a home base or something like that. So
right, yeah. So interesting. We'll see. This game. I mean, they said everything here was coming out within the next 12 months. I would imagine that Kojima thing is alive, so obviously, but everything else is supposed to be coming out within the year. So we'll see when this game comes out. And they did say this game is also a day 1 on Game Pass, which is ridiculous. Again, just Microsoft shelling out their money, bro.
Wow.
I mean, I guess they own Bethesda now, so they can do whatever the fuck they want. So
true. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna cancel Game Pass.
But yeah, that is the end of the Xbox Bethesda showcase. One last thing, real quick. If Brian has anything to say, Sonic Central had a weird thing.
Do you want me to talk about Sonic now?
Yeah, go ahead. Talk about Sonic real quick, Brian.
Man, that shit like ass. All of it looks bad. Sonic Frontiers looks bad. It looks like a weird Unreal Tech demo that pops up every 3 years, made by a fan, and I don't know why they picked it up. Everything looks really jarring about that. They randomly showed a bunch of merch. Some of it I'll probably end up buying because I'm a sellout. You can usually tell if I had my camera on.
After all that,
I am a sellout. I have a lot of Sonic memorabilia. that being said, it was a very weird conference. I don't know. Everything was very uncanny when it came down to it. Because they were showing like really weird Sonic stuff. I can't remember everything that it showed, but some of the stuff was odd.
I mean, it's goofy when one of the announcements is that the Sonic 2 Blu-ray is coming out.
Yeah, right.
It's like, great, thanks, thank you, Sonic.
That's what you call scrambling.
Yeah. Talk about a company that doesn't need a conference. It was
Right?
Sonic.
Why did you? Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're here too. We have some stuff to talk about with Sonic.
Here's some Sonic t-shirts.
What do we got? What's going on with Sonic right now?
Right.
They're trying really hard to revitalize the franchise, and I think they're about to fuck it up by doing this.
Yeah,
That's quite
this
possible.
open world Sonic game looks really fucking weird though.
It looks bad,
Yeah,
man. I'm
yeah.
sorry. It's something about the realistic landscape that looks like very much like it was stolen assets, and then you just put Sonic stuff on top of it.
It looks like a Kingdom Hearts game with Sonic in it.
Yeah, it's
No,
not.
it looks way worse than that.
Don't you say that about Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. I'm trying to hold out, and maybe that's a game that's coming out this year. We'll see.
Right.
We'll see.
Yes.
Good luck to you, Brian.
Thanks, everybody. I'm
Good
gonna
luck
need
and
it.
Godspeed.
And that's our main topic for the week. That was a lot of stuff. I'm surprised we
Woo!
got through that much stuff in the time that we did.
Yeah.
That's the whole weekend show though. You can if you missed the whole weekend, you can just like listen to this
It's true.
episode.
We
hit
didn't miss
every
anything.
single thing.
Don't comment or
True.
tweet or email us. We got it all. Everything is there.
But what about that?
No, Brian.
Oh,
What are you talking about? We didn't miss anything.
Diablo.
No, we didn't miss Diablo. We talked about it. You missed it.
We talked about it right
We talked
now.
about Diablo.
Diablo 4 is coming.
We talked about a Plague Sale. We talked about a lot of stuff that you just missed.
Yeah, got you.
And maybe we'll come back when these games actually came out and talk something about them. But
Sounds
for
good.
now, shall we move on to our next segment of the week, guys?
Let's
Mhm.
do it.
Which I very quickly have to interject a new segment of the show, which I had to come up with a name for. So I have two names. It's called either Fourtress MisFourtunes or just MisinFourmation. It is a
Whoa.
it's a segment where I go through the things that we fucked up the last week and correct them that we said this week. So
Ooh.
last week we talked about Stranger Things. Devin, you were 1,000% right. There is a season 5 of Stranger Things coming,
Yeah.
and I needed to correct you because me and Brian were totally like, no, Devin, you're an idiot and wrong.
There's another season. I know there's another part 2 of
Part
season
2 of
4.
4 is coming.
made a
There is
season
a
five.
season 5 coming,
That
and
wasn't
that is the
supposed
final
to happen.
season.
Gosh.
It really was
Yeah.
not supposed to happen. I'm positive that it wasn't supposed to happen. And then Devin
That's
showed us, and I was like,
frustrating.
damn, dude, we suck.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, but he did say that that season 5 is going to be last season.
Yeah, right.
Because they're too
Whatever.
old now.
Yeah, so
These kids are 30.
there you go.
Those kids are too old, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Last thing, also, Devin, you were 1,000% right about a weird Japanese game that starts at the beginning is like a weird wedding. That is Final Fantasy 15, where there's a boss that takes like 3 real life days to go through. That is Final Fantasy 15 as well. You were right.
Look at you, man. 2 for 2. Let's go.
Yeah. So what we've learned for this segment is that we just need to listen to Devin more.
Right. Devin knows what he's
Just
talking
trust
about.
me when I tell you things. Last Jedi was the worst movie of all time. Just trust me when I tell you anything I tell you.
How did he do it? How did
that's
he
good.
do it again?
Just trust me.
All right. Now, shall we move on to our final segment of the week, which we like to call Free for All, title pending. This is a segment, listeners, where we kind of do whatever we want. We can talk about our day. We can rant. We can recommend something, take a nap. Alex already started to talk about his free for all.
Yeah,
Alex,
I'm going to go again.
yeah.
My free for all is my cute ass baby.
She's
She's cute as shit. We just gave her a bath because she was a little fussy. She was like, I'm fussing. I'm not happy. So my wife was like, hey, let's give her a quick bath, calm her down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, thanks, guys. That's all I needed.
That's all I needed.
It's
Yes.
super interesting trying to figure out what she wants when she's like fussing and crying a little bit. It's like she's
Mhm.
either sleepy, she's hungry.
It's like sleepy, hungry,
Yeah.
dirty.
She's also like
Gotta
super
poop.
fragile newborn, so it's just like, well, you know, we can give you this. We can. Oh, you don't want that? Okay. How about this other thing?
So what you're telling me is basically you go through the 7 dwarves' names and like try to figure out which one she is at that moment.
Yeah. But honestly, even when she is grumpy dwarf, she's still so cute about it. Like
Mhm.
when she's like crying, it's like the smallest little teeny little baby cry, and I'm just like, oh, that is just so cute. But I have to like help you. I have to
I was
figure out
about
what
to
you
say.
need.
She's fighting
But
for her
you're so
life
cute.
over
I just
there,
wanna-
and you're
just
over there.
wanna
You're
pinch
so
those-
cute.
Just want to pinch those little cheeks. But also, what do you need? I'm sorry, you're crying. It's great.
Oh man, that's
That's
funny.
awesome, man. Once
Yeah.
again, congratulations. We're all
Yes,
so fucking
yes.
happy for you.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
it's amazing. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend it. Having a baby. Yeah.
Whoa there. That's
Top
for you, bro.
recommendation.
Slow down on
I mean,
that one.
If you want, highly recommend it.
If you want and you're ready for one, yeah, 10 out of 10.
Gotcha.
Adopt or make your own, or go through the normal steps.
Yeah, don't steal a baby. Don't take someone else's
Yeah.
baby, listeners.
Yeah, just follow the normal.
Yeah.
process.
Follow protocol and then enjoy a baby.
It'd be like
We
Nick
do not
Cannon.
endorse anything of the scariness of taking a baby. Don't do that. I can go next. I'm gonna rattle off because I have been storing up some free for alls past couple of weeks because there's been a lot of stuff. So I will start with I've seen a lot of movies lately, and not all of them are good.
Oh no.
I will say. So for starters, I don't know why I did it, but I saw Morbius.
Oh my
I've been
God.
thinking
Did you
about it
pay
real
money?
hard.
You paid money.
I did not. I did not pay money. I did not steal it. I somehow got it.
Somehow
I watched it
acquired
with I watched it with a friend who paid for it. I'll say that. I did not pay for this movie because I refused to give Sony
Ugh.
the Marvel Sony
It's
money.
Morbid time, baby.
You know what's funny though? At the end of this movie, I think I liked it more than both of those Venom movies. Not gonna lie.
Whoa,
Whoa.
whoa.
And I will say, because I didn't really care shit about those Venom movies either, though. But even this movie, I don't know what it is. Maybe because it was too much Spider-Man like shit I was sick of, or maybe I just didn't like. I don't like the Venom character, like of Tom Hardy's weird fucking ticks and whatnot as Venom. Like they're sometimes funny,
Sweaty.
but most of the time I'm like, I'm sick of your antics. But and also maybe it's also because Jared Leto's actually pretty good in this movie.
You can't say that because he's gonna keep doing his fuck shit.
I know,
Jared
but
Leto.
He can't keep
he
getting
is
away
the
with
most
this.
just like he's so subdued and like normal. He's not doing some weird Joker shit. He's just like a normal dude. And I was like,
fuck Jared Leto.
oh, it's kind of nice seeing Jared Leto not be a total freak.
Jared Leto is a clown, dude.
I
He's a clown.
agree wholeheartedly.
He's a weird fucking dude. He needs to stop doing so much weird shit. But I will say, in this movie, seeing him be so subdued was kind of a breath of fresh air.
I feel like with method acting, I've come to the conclusion, and I think Daniel Day-Lewis is exempt from this because he is whatever character he is in each movie that he's in. But like, if you're a method actor, I feel like you're overcompensating to make people feel like you're better than you are because
Yes.
you feel like you can't actually turn it on when you get on set.
I don't know, but that's the thing is that because Jared Leto is I think so. He is a talented fucking actor and even talented more than a person, musician, blah blah blah. Because he's been in really good shit. I think he's also just like before he became like so like I don't know mainstream. I guess he was in some indie and really good shit. Requiem for a Dream is phenomenal. He's great in Dallas Buyers Club. He's in good shit. I just think
I
he's
forgot
like
about that, yeah.
lost his brain a little bit in the
Yeah.
past 5 years.
Well, this was definitely a money thing too. Now, question.
Oh yeah.
I heard that on the set for this, that he would part of his method acting for Morbius
Oh
was
god.
taking very, very long bathroom breaks, and they don't know
Yep.
what the fuck he was doing in there.
Well, it was that, and also his character uses crutches, and he would take those crutches and have to slowly go to the bathroom with the crutches because he was in character, and it would take them so long to get to the shots.
Fuck
Oh
Jared
my
Leto.
God.
And it's shit like that where I'm like, come on, dude. Come on. This is wasting everyone's time.
Yeah,
I don't like it. I'm not so
but what was he doing in the bathroom?
his best.
What was he doing?
I don't know. I don't want to know.
Was he drinking
I
some
don't know.
blood or something? Like what the fuck? Like
He
what-
was really drinking blood.
like,
He was
just
drinking
set up, like,
blood
an
or
American
drinking his
Cross,
own piss.
donation,
There-
and he's just like I don't know, man.
I don't.
I
don't
will
know.
just say, Morbius, he is the real Batman. Just saying.
I mean, fair. Good point. I've considered watching it.
Yeah.
It's also real short. It's like a 90 minutes. It's like breezy. I was like, thank God.
That changes
Fucking hell.
everything. Maybe I will watch it then.
Yeah.
Didn't like the memes like they like trolled the company into bringing it back by making
Yes.
them think that it would make more money, and then it made like $85,000 or something.
It made no
It's so funny how old people, boomers in suits, don't understand Gen Z humor, that this was all just fucking satire and no one actually liked this movie. So they're like, hell yeah. They're really into it. Look at all these memes on Twitter right now.
It's more
Let's bring this shit back. And then, like you said, it made like $100,000 back in theaters over that weekend. And I was like, oh, they don't like it.
I love it.
It was all a ruse.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. But yeah, it's not. It's definitely not something you should go out and seek.
Oh,
but
I was never gonna do that.
Yeah, no, I only watched it because I was like, it's the MCU stuff. I'm just kind of curious to see how bad could it be, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess maybe my bar was so low that it wasn't as bad as I thought. But I mean, it's not good. It's not good, but it's not like the worst piece of trash I've ever seen. I still think the first Venom is worse than this.
Damn,
it's maybe on par with Venom 2, maybe somewhere around there. But yeah, so Morbius. I'll just say one more thing. I did see the new Jurassic World Dominion movie as well.
Why did you do this?
To be fair, also, not as bad. I actually had fun with this movie. I think this is better than the second one because the second one I think is not very good. But I will say that it's mostly because of the nostalgia of the characters from the original Jurassic Park coming back. They're the only people I care about in this movie. I don't really give a shit about Chris Pratt throughout this movie. And so seeing them, and because they're in it for a substantial amount, like they have a plot line. And so I was interested mostly in that. And then the nostalgia is kind of what held it together by the end. But there is some dumb fucking shit that happens in this movie that is laughably really dumb. Like from shot to shot, it's like, that makes no sense. But if it is probably a good example of a popcorn summer movie where you just go, you have a good time, you watch some dinosaurs eat some fucking people. You don't really think about how fucking dumb it is. It's funny when you think about it, but it's not like it didn't offend me, like a Morbius or a Venom. I didn't feel like I totally wasted my time going to see it. But yeah, I'm glad this is supposedly the end of this era of Jurassic stuff.
Thank
so
goodness.
Maybe we get a break
before they need another money.
It's gonna come back at some point. It's like Star Wars at this point. It's like it's gonna come back at some point, but maybe we get a nice little break. Maybe we'll get some new characters or something. But I will say it does resolve one plot from the original Jurassic Park that I think myself, it's not a big deal, but myself and maybe a lot of other people have been like wanting for so long since that first movie, and they do it, and I got kind of happy and giddy about that. So it's cool.
Fun fact, it is the lowest rated Jurassic Park movie of all time. Now ranking lower than Jurassic Park 3, the original Jurassic Park 3.
Ooh.
And see, I also think Jurassic Park 3 is a lot of fun.
The black guy got eaten in the beginning, so that made me mad for the entire film.
But yeah, so again, yeah. Out of those two, I would see Jurassic Park 3 or World 3.
Okay, if you're gonna do dinosaurs, don't just rely on like recreating the T-Rex scene with the Jeep chase. Like, just fucking do something new. Dinosaurs are so there's so much.
They don't do anything new in this movie. Really.
They just all they do is like, oh, remember in Jurassic Park 1 when this was better? Yeah,
I
do.
Yep.
I can talk a little bit about something that we might have all watched, but I want to talk about how my feelings about it because we talked a little bit about it in the group chat. But I watched the first episode of Ms. Marvel kind of by accident because I didn't know it came out yet. I was watching the episode 3 or 4 of Obi-Wan, and then I was like, oh, da-da-da-da-da. And I look at the banner on top, and they're like Ms. Marvel. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's probably coming out soon, huh? And it was like episode 1 out
have you watched it yet?
I haven't.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll try not to spoil it.
I'm not going to do any spoilers or anything like that, but I do want to talk about like as a whole and what I've seen so far. I'm enjoying it so far. It's another one of those things that it feels different enough that I'm probably going to be maybe the most into it out of the group when it comes down to it, because anything that's not that super formulaic kind of bit that we're getting with Marvel stuff just feels good. I think the editing's super cool. It gives me very like Scott Pilgrim-ish vibes.
Oh, it's so fun.
Or like The Babysitter on Netflix, if you've never seen that show, movie. That's really good. It just has that cool kind of sleek editing, very like video gamey, comic booky. The actor that plays Kamala Khan, she's great. Really interesting character. I think she does a good enough job. What really has me interested in this show is, and I talked to Alex and he said the same thing, it was like, it kind of feels like I'm a kid again watching a Disney Channel original like series. I feel like I'm 6 again, turning on TV on Saturday morning with my cereal, my Honey Nut Cheerios, and watching Kamala Khan just doing her thing. So I've been interested in so far. I hope it keeps like this. Oscar doesn't feel so much that it might keep like this, but
I only in the sense that by the 6th episode, it's probably going to be a Marvel movie.
Right. Because we know there's a certain point in time where a thing has to happen.
Yeah.
And
she's going to have to fight something.
Right. She got to have something to do. Sure.
Yeah. But up until that, like, I'm on board with you. Like, I'm having so much fun with it as well. Yeah.
So I'm hoping it stays that way. And while watching Obi-Wan, another thing that we'll end up talking about when it ends soon here. That's been less great. I was enjoying it until the 4th episode, and now I'm not enjoying it so much because I really thought that was not a good episode.
Dude, that was dark as shit. There was a lot of dark stuff in that.
There's some dark moments in that 4th episode. Yeah.
I just wasn't.
I definitely liked it more than you, clearly, Brian. But I have some nostalgia going through that episode.
Sure.
And so I was able to have some fun with it. Yeah. But it is definitely like why is this in this already short series? Why did we dedicate a whole episode to this?
Right. So that was a little, and then those acting chops weren't getting shown so good again with some of these characters. It was a little rough. But we'll see how it goes. This is the Star Wars that I like, so that's why I think I'm getting even more critical than I normally am with Star Wars, because I don't care. Star Wars is fucking stupid anyway, so I don't really care what they do with the show. But this one is like this is the Star Wars we grew up with, so I want to love it, so I'm trying really hard to love it. So we'll see how that goes as well.
I still love Ewan McGregor no matter what happens.
No matter what. That man can punch me directly in my jaw and I'll still be like, yes sir. Another, please.
Yeah, I think he's doing a pretty good job. Well, we got see guys, like I never have new gaming news for you because all I do is play FIFA and Rocket League.
You know what you should do every week if you happen to play FIFA or Rocket League, you need to tell us your win-loss ratio for that week.
All right. Deal. I can do that. But no, today I hopped on, I re-downloaded, I think partially because of Obi-Wan coming out, but I re-downloaded Battlefront 2.
Ooh.
And like the new one. I always have the old one, like the 2001. That's a staple on my hard drive in case you ever just need a comfort, 10 minutes to just like, just go shoot some stormtroopers. But listen, man, the new one, beautiful. I'm really, really bad at it. I am so bad at it.
That game is really good looking. I'm surprised at how good that game looks.
It looks fucking amazing.
Like, it is so good. The graphics are amazing. You feel like you're in one of the movies. I am atrocious. Like,
it's kind of hard to be good at that game. Like, at some point, it's just like you just show up for 5 seconds and then die.
I don't know about y'all. I'd be fucking that game up. But, go off. If you suck at shooters, just tell me, bro. Come on.
You must be on the other team that destroyed us in the Conquest today, like 100% to 0, because it was like, it's like you spawn, I'll walk out of the room, instantly get shot, 10 seconds to respawn, spawn again, and then we're all trapped in the spawn because the other team is just dicking us so bad that like
it is one of those. That is probably a fault. It is one of those games that if you lose, you're losing bad.
Yes. Like. And I was like checking like to see if there's like how many people on our team are like, are we outnumbered? And it's like, no, there's the same amount of people. We actually had like 2 more people than they did, and we were still getting murdered.
It's also one of those games like Titanfall 2, where it's like you got people that like when the game became free or like became lower in price, like a bunch of new people got on there, and then there was those motherfuckers that never left. Like they come out the basement, it's like, oh, you're finally ready to join us in hell. And it's like, come on, man. I just bought this game because it was free. And I just wanted to shoot a couple people as a droid real quick. And this man's over here as Darth Maul the entire game. Man got 200 kills. And it's like, we can't beat him. We can't defeat him. What do we do? That game gets pretty rough.
That's a frustrating thing about it too. Because like the heroes, you can't, the only way you can get them is if you're like 50 feet away and shooting them in the back. But if they're like within 20 feet of you, you're fucked.
Did you get to play the game type in the dark with the stormtroopers and the Ewoks? I don't know what the game type itself was called. That is super fun. Because the Ewoks have like these lame ass weapons like sticks and stuff, but you can't see them. You have like a flashlight that like has a rechargeable battery or whatever, so sometimes it goes out. So you'll just be hearing the scurrying. You're like, oh shit! It's like a horror game
sounds
almost.
Amazing.
And then you just have an Ewok on your knees, just fucking bop 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 bop.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
That was so fun.
That's my favorite part about Battlefront.
When I was a stormtrooper, I think you can turn your flashlight off, right? Because I think that's what I did. I was just trying to run around the forest, like, because like, if you have your flashlight on, that's just like every Ewok within 100 miles, like knows exactly where you are.
There's something fun about playing as a weird teddy bear man with like a giant stick that just bops people, or like a cross stick or something.
And it's like scary. Like they made that game mode kind of funny because it's like it is scary as the stormtroopers.
I hate playing as a stormtrooper.
Yeah, it was
good
funny.
game. It's pretty underrated, to be honest. I heard the campaign was pretty good too for that game.
Yeah,
it was all right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been better, but it's not bad.
Yeah. Respawn didn't Respawn make that? The people that made Battlefield?
I think they did. Yeah.
Until recently, they make good games. Battlefield 20, 30, 10,000, not included because that game sucks. All the penises.
Wait, no, it's not Respawn. I can't. Who's the company? Dice. Dice.
What does Dice make? What does Respawn make?
Dice makes Battlefield and Battlefront.
Yeah, Battlefield.
Respawn made the Fallen Order Star Wars game.
Oh, okay. I'm getting mixed up.
And Titanfall.
Gotcha. And Titanfall. Okay, that's where I'm getting it mixed up. Gotcha.
Yeah, I got Dice and Respawn mixed up. But yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. But no, it is. Yeah, it's a fun game, and it's very. They nailed the authenticity of Star Wars in it.
It made me so mad, and I went on like a losing streak of like 3 games. And I was like, why did I even re-download this game? I was like, this is just not fun at all. Like
the game is not fair. I will say that very, very confidently. It is not a skill-based game. No matter how good at you are at the game, it is not a fair game.
Yeah,
it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Very nice, guys. Well, that is our show, listeners. Feel free to email us at thefortress@gmail.com. Fortress spelled FOUR. Feel free to email us any questions or feedback, or to tell us that we did perfectly and didn't miss anything from all the news today, because we didn't. Also, follow us on Twitter and Instagram and the YouTube channel at The Fortress of. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandma, tell your cat. Create a conference like Sonic for no reason and just only
for your one game.
Us.
And then just butcher
What
yourself.
a waste of time.
Well, guys, you can always follow me on Instagram at Instagram.com/ or I guess it's just ITZ_, by the way. You don't have to do Instagram.com/ because you usually have the app, you freaking weirdo. Or you can follow me on Twitch. That does have a website, twitch.tv/ by the way X. It also has an app as well. The app sucks. So look on the internet and actually pull up the webpage. Thanks.
Yeah. My Instagram's out there. Go find it.
we got full YouTube coverage of Devin playing Battlefront, getting wrecked over and over again. He went 0 and 38. It was actually amazing how poorly he did.
If I get 300 followers, I will upload a clip of me playing Battlefront. You can laugh at it.
I was a picture. I was a picture of him playing Battlefront.
It's just one screenshot.
I'll just send you the picture of like the defeat that I get at the end of each
no.
defeat across the screen.
Oh, that's good. Thank you, Brian, for the art. Thank you, Alex, for the music. Thank you, Devin, for being here every week as usual. And thank you, Jackie, for helping edit the podcast every week. That is our show, listeners. Happy holidays, everyone. And put a code on. It's code out there.
Don't let your computer overheat and explode or whatever mine did. That was pretty wild.
Yeah, Brian's computer does not need a code. It's too hot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it needs another air fan on it.
All right, everyone. We'll see you here next week at another episode of The Fortress of...